Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Rick Brown with the Brown Home Group, and this is Beyond the Key podcast. This podcast is all about real people, real stories, and real conversations, from entrepreneurs to community leaders and everyday change makers. We're here to shine a light on the journeys that inspire, challenge, and connect us. It's not just about what people do, it's about who they are, what drives them, and the impact they're making in the world around them. So whether you're here for insight, inspiration, or just a good story, you're in the right place. Thank you for tuning in, and let's get into it and go beyond the key. Guys, welcome to another episode of Beyond the Key. I am thrilled to invite, and I want to make sure I say your name correctly. It's Ines?
Yes.
Yes. And you are the co-owner or owner of Olikano Wellness Clinic.
I am the owner and the provider there. Yes, correct.
Okay, awesome. So we're going to dive into what it is Olikano Wellness does and what your clinic's all about. But before that, let's get to know Ines and who you are. And so I'd love to start because I can hear an accent. Are you Spanish speaking? No.
A little bit.
Okay. Muy poquito. Okay. Yeah. So those out there, that's about all I have too. So kind of tell us a little bit of your background. Where are you from? And obviously where you grew up and all of that good stuff.
So I'm fluent in German. Based on the fact that I was born and raised there.
Okay.
I moved to the United States in 2002, so I've been here quite a while. Not quite half my life yet, but we're getting there.
Well, I actually was born in Berlin, but I don't speak German, so I don't even sound German. But I can say
Berlin
that
is great, but
yes.
Munich, where I'm from, is better.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm not going to fight you on that one.
There you go. Wonderful. Okay. Now, as I said, born and raised in Germany, Munich, in a suburb. I went to school there. I started out as believe it or not, English as a foreign language teacher. And I volunteered as an EMT with the local Red Cross, who does the EMS services in Germany. Okay. And I found my passion there. So when I moved to the United States, I pursued that career path, went to nursing school, and the rest is history. Started out as an RN, went through several bedside jobs, experiences, so to speak, and then became a nurse practitioner, and I love it.
Wow, that's awesome. So if I remember rightly, because I know you already from our BNI group, and you served in the military, yes?
I still do. I'm in the Army Reserves, also in the role of a nurse practitioner. So every now and then they send me to interesting places like Kuwait, and put me in interesting positions like running and being the officer in charge, basically, for an ER. So yes, I have done that as well.
So how does that, not to change gears here, but how does that work? So are you in reserve or are you actually active duty?
So as a reservist, we have a commitment to do a weekend a month and several 2 to 3 weeks during in the summer as extended training. But every now and then when there is a mission, and they need providers, they pick and choose providers from different units and just what they call mobilize us, make us active duty for weeks and months at a time.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, thank you for your service.
Thank you.
I know when I met you, you were in camouflage, and I don't know, I think you were in Texas or somewhere.
Correct.
That must have been what you were doing. You were doing your reserve time.
Yes, while taking care of the business at home. Sometimes a little bit juggle act, but we make it do.
Yeah, awesome. So what is DPC? Because I know we've talked about it, and I know it stands for something because it has to. So what is DPC first?
So DPC is short for direct primary care.
Okay.
DPC is an alternative model to traditional insurance-based primary care. Patients pay a monthly or a yearly flat fee, and they get several services included in that. Mostly, this includes primary care services like checkups, physicals, basic labs, the once a year, making sure everything is good kind of labs. For people who require more intense monitoring, like with chronic disease, that includes the follow-up visits. We also do urgent care visits for minor illnesses or injuries. We provide minor procedures, IND of an abscess, toenail removal, stuff like that. Anything that a primary care doctor does, but gets paid by the insurance, we do as well.
Got it. So it's primary care clinics that that don't provide, you provide.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Correct.
Okay. And so can we better understand some of the services that you offer? Like what do you offer within your clinic?
So in addition to these primary care services, the DPC model ensures that doctors and providers have a smaller panel, so we have more time for our patients. This means that we can dig deeper into what ails a patient. They get more personalized care. We can look at, for example, hormones. We can take the functional approach. We can offer services that insurance-based don't do, like IV therapy, IM injections for vitamins and minerals. So we can be a little more specialized and look at illness or disease from another angle than it's usually done at the insurance-based clinic.
Okay. So let's talk about integrative medicine. I know you had kind of touched on it.
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean, and what is involved in that?
Well, integrative medicine is a holistic approach to healthcare, and it combines the conventional Western medical practices with, as I mentioned, these alternative therapies like IV hydration.
Mm-hmm.
We can offer acupuncture, chiropractor service, massages, basically looking at the body and mind connection of health. It does not reject conventional medicine. A lot of people say, oh, we don't do medications. Yes, we do prescribe medications if it's necessary and if it's warranted. But adding complementary services makes you heal faster.
Sure, makes sense. So, do you also provide any specialty services that don't fall under the direct primary care?
Definitely, we are specialized in hormone optimization. My favorite
weird.
patients are like menopausal women who nobody listens to.
Okay.
I'm sure a lot of people.
I'm not going there.
Well, you might want to send your wife or somebody.
I think she's past that. So
No.
I think she's
Anyway,
done. But yes,
I'm not
great.
sure. A lot of listeners may have seen the Oprah special. It is a big concern. Doctors aren't trained in treating menopausal symptoms and menopausal concerns. Don't know what the symptoms are. So that's a big thing. And you're
saying menopause, not premenopause. So it's not the coming into menopause, but
perimenopause. Yes, it includes all of that. A lot of women start much earlier than expected. Some women start perimenopausal. We call that perimenopausal. They have the symptoms, but they still ovulate and they still have periods. So they have symptoms: hot flashes, palpitations, brain fog, all kinds of issues that are suddenly unknown to a woman who is vital and active.
So somebody comes to you and you can give them hormonal injections that will help
Yeah, there are several ways. There's several ways of providing hormones. It can be oral, it can be patches, it can be injections. A lot of women do like injections just because it's quick, easy, no sticky stuff, and no pills to take. So
yeah, no, I get it. Now, this is off topic, and I know that we've already kind of pre-talked about questions, but I'm curious, do you do anything with dietary type? Are you guys involved in, the big thing right now is the Ozempic and things like that? Are you involved in anything where if somebody's choosing to try and lose weight or anything like that? Because that gets a little scary. My wife has done a lot of research, and she, has also checked on some of the fallout with that, right? And you probably know as better than anyone some of the scary results that can come from it, like when you come off of it after doing it and things like that. And do you want to maybe touch on that? Is that something you offer at your clinic?
Absolutely. We do offer weight loss, or rather unwanted weight gain treatments. Ozempic and Zepbound are great drugs for getting the food chatter and issues with wanting to eat all the time, get that under control, get the metabolism under control. But as you said, it's not something that should be taken long term. It can be. Is that something that patients want? No, they have side effects. We don't want the side effects for the rest of our lives. So yes, while we may use where it's appropriate, the main focus is on making lifestyle and diet changes.
Okay.
And a lot of times, and people don't realize it, the problem with weight gain, unwanted weight gain, and the difficulty of losing weight is in the gut and is dietary deficiencies. They're deficient in minerals. They're deficient in vitamins. We test for all that. We make sure that these deficiencies and these things are balanced and put back into the right proportions. And usually when all that is fixed, the weight comes off. So weight loss is often a side effect of becoming healthy.
Yeah, I know a few of my colleagues, some of my agents are on that Ozempic, and there's another one. And what did you call it?
Zepbound.
Yes, that's exactly.
Yeah.
I guess it's the same family.
Correct.
And I've seen them, like a lot of weight has come off, like 25 pounds in like 3 months. But what are the side effects from that? I mean, so far as what it does to your body?
So basically it. I
mean, would you say it's safe? Is it safe?
It is safe. It is safe for most people. It is not safe for people who have certain thyroid cancer in the family or in their personal history. But obviously, we will go over all of that in our visits and make sure that they are.
So you evaluate them. You evaluate them if they're a good candidate. They have to be a good candidate. Not everybody. I got you. Okay.
Correct.
Well, hey, this kind of takes me into the next question, which is, why don't you walk us through what does a typical intake visit, as you call it, what does that look like? And then what happens when I come to you, which I'm not going to come to you because you use needles.
Ah,
But what does that initial consultation look like? Why don't you kind of
well,
walk us through it?
I can definitely hide the needles so that they are far, far away.
Okay.
And we do not need needles all the time.
Yeah.
But generally, when you come to the office, before I will send out a questionnaire, we will go over extensive medical histories, family histories, medications you're taking, all the fun stuff that I need to know to get a good picture of your health. When you come in, we will take your vital signs, do blood pressure, heart rate, temperature. Yes, we will get the weight and height. And if necessary, we do blood sugar checks. I wouldn't do that with you because you don't like needles.
No, I mean, I'm okay with needles. I joke about it, but it's not something that it didn't sit well with me when I was a kid. I was anemic,
Yeah.
and so I mean, again, for our listeners, anemic, low iron, right?
Well, anemic means low red blood cells.
Yeah.
So that is often caused by low iron. Yes, correct.
So I would have to go to the doctor like once a month and have my blood tested.
Mm-hmm.
And I did for, obviously, I think I was like 8 or 9. But the last day that I was told that, hey, look, your levels are back up. You don't have this. You're not anemic anymore. This will be your last visit. I jumped up off the chair or whatever and stood next to the file cabinet when my mom was checking out, and I passed out and I hit my head on the back of a file cabinet, and I had to have 7 to 10 stitches in my
More
head.
needles.
Yep, exactly. And so I don't know, from then on, I've always been a little skittish. So now I just sit, maybe looking at the needle does not help. When my daughter was born, my wife at the time, she had to have Pitocin, so she had to be induced. And they
Gotcha.
gave her a needle, and I just watched, right? And then I passed out. I don't remember. I just remember the smelly salt and them waking me up and her yelling at me because I wasn't giving her the attention, or she wasn't getting the attention because she was the one pregnant. But that being said, needles have never been a friend of mine. But I will say the last time I had blood taken, and it's all about you guys that do it so well to where you don't even know that you're being stuck. So I imagine you're extremely, really good at it, and it's probably the same situation there. So I'm not saying that I wouldn't do it. But based on the initial consultation, so far as time, what does that look like? Is it a half hour?
As long as it's needed. Some people,
Okay.
patients take 30 minutes.
wow.
Others take an hour and a half. Some people take several visits. We will take the time that is needed to address what every patient would like have addressed. We take symptoms seriously. We will order blood tests, obviously, and we will not just do the basic like in another clinic that you used to. For example, for thyroid, most practitioners and most insurances only pay for the thyroid stimulating hormone, which is the hormone that goes from the thyroid to the brain. And they say, okay, if that is out of whack, then there's something wrong with your thyroid. But that's not true, because it can be normal because your poor thyroid is working overtime to make sure all the hormones that the body needs are made. but it's struggling, and we need other tests for that. So we will do a comprehensive test, and that is included in the visit, because we are not bound by insurance that tells us you can't test for other things. So we also test vitamins and minerals if needed, and obviously the usual suspects like your lipids, your A1C for diabetes,
So, I mean,
your
if I come to
kidney
you,
function, liver function.
are you going to tell me my cholesterol level and all of that too, to tell me if I have high cholesterol, low cholesterol, and high
We
blood
will
pressure?
test for that as
all of
well. This is a prudent thing to do. We cardiovascular health is very important always, so we will check for that. And if there is anything that needs to be addressed, we will tell you and we will address it.
Sounds like a plan. And so far as, I mean, insurance, is it something that's covered through insurance for somebody to come to you? And I mean, obviously this is more based on health, and I mean, we haven't even got into the IV injection, which I know is become huge. Like I was at as a realtor, I was at a broker's open, and they had an IV chair. Like people were coming to this chair and getting stuck and just sitting there, I guess, for 10 minutes or whatever.
Yeah.
It was no different than getting a massage, which is much better. But for some people, they say, no, this actually gives me energy, gets me rejuvenated, whatever, right?
Yes.
And you do this in your practice, in your clinic.
We do that. And,
why would somebody come to you for that?
When?
Why?
Well, most of our patients who get these IV services, they have gotten it at some IV lounge or whatever, a standard bag. We focus on their symptoms. They're having a headache, they're having low energy, they feel like they're getting a cold or something. So we tailor to the specific needs of the patient at that time. It's not just, oh yeah, here's a bag with such and such and such. We mix the bags specifically for the patient and their needs. And so we are a little bit more specific in what we offer in that respect.
So are you saying that if somebody does this IV injection, is that what we call it? I want to make sure I state it correctly.
IV hydration, yes.
Hydration, okay. So if I have headaches and I was to come to you and do this IV, you would specifically put a bag together that would help gear around my headaches.
Correct.
Is that the same if I had soreness, or I was sore, or is that something that is something?
So probably the soreness comes from another reason. A lot of people come to us because they have a migraine.
So let's say if I was working out and I'm sore because maybe I've overworked.
Yes, correct. So there would be different ingredients and in different proportion. Yes. So we would make that specifically to you.
Oh, see, I didn't. This is great. I didn't know this, and I don't know if our listeners know this. That you can get a specific hydration. Obviously, you said something about headaches. You said something about now soreness, but let's just say I'm just. That's something that you have a bag for.
Yes, we have a bag for. Well, I had too much to drink last night.
Oh, that's
my kid came home from daycare, and now we have diarrhea in the house. So
okay.
Yes, we can tailor to all these needs, and a lot of families and mothers and fathers often come to us, and they're like, "Yep, it's flu season. It's this and such season.
Wow.
I need something to stay healthy." So yeah, we can help with that, getting them the boost of energy and strengthening their immune system.
Wow. So, did you have to get extra education to be able to provide these type of services, or is this?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
A lot of extra training. And nurse practitioner school and medical school does not provide prepare you for all these things. I have shadowed a lot of specialists in the hormone realm. I have taken a lot of classes on nutrition and IV hydration and minerals and vitamins hydration. So yes, it involves a lot of specialized training, and we stay up to date. We constantly go to classes and do online classes,
right?
Go to conferences.
Right. Learning all the latest and greatest that's out there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's good to know. So curious what interests you, or what made you want to step out of the traditional, healthcare model and focus in wellness?
I love making people feel good. I have seen so many, when I was at the bedside in the hospital, I have seen so many young people debilitated by illnesses and diseases that are preventable by conditions that, if they had maybe the right guidance, somebody who focused on preventing debilitating consequences of diabetes, losing a foot, losing whatever digits that got bad and gangrene through diabetes and not healing well. All these things can be prevented in most cases. So I just love helping people stay healthy, be vital until old age.
That's awesome.
Like as long as possible. Being active, being out in the community, doing things, moving the body, getting the right nutrition, everything that helps them stay young and vital. I love teaching people.
That's fantastic. So I know our time is coming up, but I wanted to at least give you the last word and before we finish, and just say thank you. If somebody out there listening wanted to schedule an opportunity to come in and maybe get that wellness check, or that hydration, or just, it sounds like more like a physical, but maybe, am I stating that wrong? That it's not just a physical checkup; it's more.
We do that if there's nothing going on and you have just want to know everything is still going well. We do a physical basic labs and all that. If you have a specific concerns, obviously we will focus on that. If you're just interested in getting hydrated and stay hydrated through the summer, we are here for you too.
Okay.
Yes, our phone number 407-783-9785. We can always schedule an appointment that way. Our website is www.olikanowellness.com, and you can book through that site as well. We have a button in there where you can book an appointment.
Okay, and we'll put all that information into the comments below so that you'll have the proper spelling of that.
Yeah.
Not everybody spells that the same way. And
no, that's probably true.
We want to make sure we get that right. And where are you located?
We are in Baldwin Park, right by the executive airport.
Okay. And hours, Monday through Friday?
Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., but I do after hours by appointment.
I was just curious if you did any house calls. Do you take your hydration on the road?
Yes, you
You
can
do?
get that as well if you have we have done bridal showers,
Right.
groomsmen's after party
Gotcha.
hydration.
Yeah. Or brokers
Yes,
opens for realtors if you're out there and you're
yes,
listening.
absolutely.
I was taken back. I thought, I mean, again, it's different, but it seems to be something that more and more people are doing, and it's becoming a regular thing. It's almost like people rely on it in order to get through the week or whatever.
Some people do, and it is unfortunately our food is oftentimes depleted of minerals and vitamins,
Mm-hmm.
just by the way our soils are. So getting an extra boost of these things is a great way of staying healthy.
Yeah. Wow. Well, I've actually learned a lot today. I hope you that were listening also picked up some things. I know that health is very important, obviously, with the different foods out there and all the junk that's in certain foods and what it can do to your body. I learned that from my wife. I mean, she's like diving into all of these different dietitian type programs, the keto and the carnivore keto and things like that. And if you're interested and you want to know more about that, and maybe something that you've thought about doing, now's the time to reach out to Ines and give her a call. We'll put their information again in the comments. But hey, we're wrapping up another episode of Beyond the Key. Remember, the insights shared today are tools and keys, if you will, to help you achieve success in all areas of your life. This is Rick Brown with Brown Home Group, encouraging you to use them wisely.